Welcome to Every Inch Counts podcast. I am your host, Josh Life Boger, and today we have a very special episode with a very special guest. She hails from down the street, someone who is trying to live their life. We will be covering her life and how she deals with her anxiety and her trauma. She is Faith's best friend, Rebecca Rex.
Okay, we don't have to do all government. We could just keep it,
Bekka Rex.
Bekka Rex.
How you doing?
Lately it's been a little stressed, but, I don't know. Now I'm getting all nervous recording this, but I'll get better as we go on. It's just right away I'm a little nervous, but.
Yeah, I feel you. It's first timer.
Yeah, but.
Popping the cherry. It's all good.
Okay.
We're getting right into it.
Right into it. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So, every inch counts.
Every inch counts.
We get deep. Now I'm all flummed up, but we start from the very beginning.
Okay.
Talk to me about your life. How was your life as early as you remember it?
Well, see, that's the problem. I mean, let's just dive right into it. Why don't we? When I was younger, I feel like I went through quite a lot. I was very oblivious as a kid. And I know that now just because of the fact that, like, my sister, she'll tell me, like, stories of, like, us as kids, and I'm like, I remember it differently, or, like, not at all. So it's weird that, like, I try to remember things from my childhood, and I don't think I remember them correctly. So I'll try to as best to explain to you, but might be wrong. So from the earliest I can remember, I mean, it was me and my sister. Everything was good. My parents lived in the same house. Everything was good. They were still married at this point. And everything was fine in my childhood. I don't really remember much that was, like, bad when I was younger. But the first incident, I guess, that would cause me to have trauma and need to work through was the New Year's Day of 2008. Okay?
That seems like that was a long-ass time ago.
It was a long-ass time ago. But that day, so my older brother was over, and he wanted my dad to take him and his friend to, I think, another friend's house of some sorts. And my dad was like, okay, if you clean off my truck, I'll take you, because it was snowing that day. And so he's cleaning off the truck, and now I'm going to tell from my point of view. So I'm 7 at this point, and we were all watching TV in the living room, and I went up and I was about to go to the bathroom, but there was this one commercial that was on, and I don't even remember what commercial it was, but it kind of saved my life, to be honest with you. I wanted to see it, so I stopped and watched it. Not even 20 seconds later, we just hear a big crash, boom. The house is shaking. We look out we had this big open window. We look out the window, and there's just nothing but, like, smoke of dirt. It looked like
one of those, like, you say you're playing baseball and you see those sand tornadoes.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly, just like that. You couldn't really see anything. It was pretty much just dirt all everywhere. And my dad stood up and said, "What the fuck was that?" And the only reason I know that is because my little sister proceeded to repeat that to my grandparents later in the evening. And mind you, she was 5 years old. So when she said, it was so funny. So that's, like, ingrained in my brain. But yeah, so I go check speaking of my sister, she was in mine and her shared bedroom at the time, which was right next to the bathroom of the house. I'm trying to, like, lay it out. Right next to the bathroom of the house, and I'm getting too deep into it. Let me just
we get deep here.
I know, but we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of trauma.
We're fine.
Yeah, so I go to check on, me and my mom go to check on her. My dad goes outside. This is all blur to me right now. I probably am not telling it in a way where you'll understand it, but honestly, I can't really remember all the details because I was 7. So, but yeah, like, what had happened was a guy who had a medical condition to which he would have seizures frequently. And he was taking medicine for it. He was fine, but this one day, I guess he didn't take his medicine or he ran out or something, and he went to Strex to go pick up some things. We lived on, I'm not going to say that, never mind. We lived on a street that was like the
Lived
same.
down a street.
Lived down the street from Strex. So it was like the same road. He was coming back, and he had a seizure mid-driving, and he was going, it's funny because he was going this way, but he ended up on like our side, which was the complete opposite side. So he could cross traffic, ran into a fence, ran into my neighbor's car, which spun around, went into our house. That was the big shaking boom.
Damn.
Yes. Our bathroom, to be specific. Our bathroom, where I was about to go 20 seconds before to pee. Little 7-year-old Bekka. So, yeah.
That's crazy because 2 houses down from me, that shit happened.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was so wild, like the whole process. I mean, like getting it even afterwards, like getting the car fixed up, and it was crazy because the car eventually stopped when it pinned my brother in between my dad's truck and that car.
oh no.
Yeah. So me and my sister immediately weren't allowed outside for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But it was just I really don't remember. I remember knowing, like, thinking, what is going on right now? Like, what just happened? And like my mom was freaking out, and I remember our neighbor came over, the one whose car was in our house, and she was like trying to take care of me and my sister because my mom was trying to like help my dad out with what eventually, like, if they realized was my brother was like under the car, and he was 14 at the time. So this, like, I couldn't even imagine being 14 and being pinned under a car. Oh my goodness. But he was in the hospital for like months, I think, and after that, like, getting better and stuff, and even like, can't say to this day, but even like after he recovered and stuff, he had a limp and everything. Like he would never really fully recovered from it because his leg was pretty pinned. But just the whole process of like the bathroom being fixed, like during like the whole, like, while my mom was taking care of me and my sister, and my dad was up at the hospital with my brother, and the whole time was just crazy. I remember I went on this is a random tangent, but I remember I went on a Girl Scout trip that I wasn't supposed to go on, but because my mom wasn't there on time to pick me up, and all the Girl Scout girls were going, and I was like, well, I want to go. Of course I'm going to go. And my mom got like upset with me because we were supposed to go to the hospital that day, and that was just one thing I remember from that time. But it's like, and I also remember me and my little sister, we even wrote on the floor in the bathroom before they like retiled it. So like, I mean, part of me even still to this day kind of wants to go back to that house and be like, can I smash your tile up and like see what's underneath there? But yeah, it just, that was like something. So that was like really the first thing I remember. It was like, okay, I probably am going to need, therapy for this. But,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a very traumatic experience. Like, I remember the day that happened to my neighbors 2 houses down. And to this day, they have rocks. Because you've been to my house. I have that T intersection right in front of my house. And to this day, there are rocks, not in front of my house, but in front of my neighbor's house, and then right next to them. There's these rocks that sit in between the sidewalk and the street on that grass. And my neighbor, when he decided to move into the house and all that stuff, they tried to get rid of it. I told his ass, don't do it. And it turned out about a week or 2 later, I'm getting yelled at by my mom, be like, yo, contact the neighbors. Someone just ran right over the rocks. And I'm calling them. I'm like, yo, meet me in your front yard. And we're like, he's like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, dude, someone just ran over your fucking rocks. He goes, no way. And I'm shining my flashlight on there, and you could see the oil and everything on the rocks. I'm like, dude, I told you to keep these rocks here. He goes,
Right.
yeah, I ain't never fucking moving these things.
Hell yeah, because that probably saved his house right there.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
man, it was rough. Like, and even like I remember checking on my sister and seeing like pieces of the toilet and the bathtub, and like our little toilet paper like holder, and the toilet paper roll of toilet paper was like rolled out, all like outside of the bathroom door, right in the hallway, like and then you look and there's just like headlights in your bathroom. It's such a weird like
it's
picture in my head, and I can still see it to this day, and it's crazy because it's just like the car was really in my house.
Yeah, that I couldn't imagine that happening to my family at my house. Like that's just mind blowing.
See, that's what that's another thing too, is like that was just the first thing.
I know.
So like you're saying this now, you're like, I can't imagine. I'm over here like this is normal to me, because out of everything, yeah, that was I mean, it was still, I just feel like I haven't processed enough to like really kind of understand
The process of what's going
really
on.
I went through when I was a kid. So
Well, that's why, got you on the pod.
heck yeah.
All right.
Care for therapy, so let's go on the podcast.
So with all that happening, did it affect like your elementary and middle school life? Like how was
So
your school life before like high school and all that?
well, that didn't affect it, but I would say the next thing really did affect it. And so if we want to talk about in school, I was kind of, I don't want to be like that girl. I was bullied, but I mean, I kind of was, because there was a few girls that were bullying me, and in fact, one of them is one of my best friends today. Shout out Nicole. Yeah, and but yeah, I was bullied as a kid. So then when the next instance happened, and then there was bullying on top of it, it was very hard for me. But do you want to get into the next instance, or we move on to the next one?
Yeah, if you want. Like, I'm just letting you flow.
I mean, okay,
you're
sure.
cooking right now, girl.
I'm cooking. But the next one, like really traumatizing thing that happened that I remember, after that would be when my brother actually passed. So, I don't think I really want to go into too much detail about it.
Okay, just say what you want to say about it.
He did pass away when he was 17, and see, part of me thinks I still haven't even processed it to this day. Like, I mean, it's just like well, we can go back a little bit to that other story. My parents didn't. See, I don't want to seem like I'm talking crap on my parents, but they didn't put me in therapy after that, even though they should have. But it was 2008, 2007. Like nobody really. It wasn't as common as it is today.
During like that era, it's like you had to eat everything that was given to you.
Right, and especially because that's how our parents were raised too. And I mean, my parents at least were raised that way, and they, like, my grandparents really didn't even know if like mental health was a thing.
It was not a thing. And,
right.
And if someone committed suicide or took their own life at that time period, it was almost like they were crazy. Like they would be like, yeah, it was almost like, why would they do that? It was like a thing, like mental and was it mental? No, it's not mental disorders. Is it brain disorder? What is it?
Like psychological?
Yeah, psychological disorders was like not a thing back then, which blows my
especially
mind.
Because, like, even if you like I like a lot of history and stuff like that. Like the first, like they like lobotomies. Why would they would lobotomize crazy people? Like I would, if I was alive back in the day, I definitely would have been freaking lobotomized, because yeah, like that, like that's crazy to me too. Like you would really cut into people's brains like that just because you thought that like, it's just crazy.
Thought there was something in there,
right? Like I don't know, it's just crazy. But I'm glad it's evolved now to a better place where it's more open, but I feel like there's still some stigma around it.
Yeah, like, I mean, in my opinion, like, I probably should go see a therapist about a lot of the shit I've been through. But it's just so hard for me to, like, pull a trigger, and I probably won't. My dad actually has. He went through a huge time period where he was, like, depressed, and I had no idea until after it was all said and done. And it really, like, opened my eyes. I'm like, damn, like, if my dad could go through that and get some help, I mean, there's no way anyone else should ignore it. But I mean, I choose to ignore it, but at the same time, I have different coping mechanisms. We'll get into that later.
Right. But here's the thing too. I love when like, okay, especially like nowadays, I love like when men can admit that they also will need some help, because I feel like that's more of the stigma nowadays. It's like they don't want to seem weak or anything like that, which I don't think it's weak. I actually see it as more of a strong suit. If you can admit that you need help and you may need, like, or you journal or anything like that. When a man admits that to me, I'm over here like, okay, I think you're stronger than any other men that can't, because
Yeah, that's true.
and it is a big feat, like, like trying to feat being like FEAT, by the way, trying to like realizing you like need help, especially I feel like from a man, like you raised being like you could tell, but like I won't get too much into that, whatever. But I don't know, I see it as like more of a I admire men who can admit that they need help in some sort of way. They may have some mental illness in them, and that's like I appreciate that, because that's where the stigma is going to break, is more people coming forward.
The percentages of suicide rates is men are way above women.
Yeah, for sure. And that's,
I don't know the exact percentages. I didn't look it up. I just know that that's what it is. Like, it has to do with, like, you see pro athletes doing it because they have head trauma. They don't seek any treatment. And same as you said, no one wants to open up and actually do something about it, which it sucks, because you can't force anyone to do anything. Like, it's, at the end of the day, it's on them. But
right.
If you care about the other people around you, you would go seek help.
Right.
All right.
Sorry.
So,
but so then I didn't go to therapy for that. And then the next thing happened when my brother passed, and I wasn't put in therapy for that either. And I was 10 years old when that happened. Okay. I might fly through some of this now, because I feel like I've been going way too long on one topic, and
you're good.
There's a lot. So, about when I was 10, he passed away, and that was rough too. We weren't put in therapy for that.
That might be picked up, but that's fine.
Okay. I wasn't put. Back on track. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
you're good. The footsteps are not going to be able to hear it.
Okay. I was just getting distracted. The ADHD is coming out really bad right now.
All right, focus up here. Focus up.
Yeah. Right. But basically, I wasn't put in therapy for that. But then the next traumatizing thing. Well, oh my gosh, I'm getting all over the place. I'm sorry. I feel really bad right now. Okay.
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
Yeah.
We got dogs barking in the background. I don't know if you're able to hear it.
Getting a little overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. A lot's going on here.
But let me calm down. Let me go back a little bit.
Take a deep breath. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
you were talking about not going to therapy for your brother's death.
And then back to what I was saying earlier, how I was bullied in school, and then you asked if that was like, if anything made it harder. It did make it harder when my brother passed, because it was the summer before 5th grade, and when we went to meet the teacher, my mother and father had talked to my teacher and was like, hey, like, this happened over the summer, like, we'd appreciate it if you just kind of like watch her, make sure she's doing okay. Let us know if you like notice anything off about her. Like, and I appreciate them for that. But that teacher,
She didn't help you at all?
no. In fact, when I was being bullied by some girls in the class, she decided to side with them.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was a rough year. 5th grade was definitely a rough year because it was something I didn't even say too. Like these girls told the teacher that when we were on recess and she was eating her lunch, I was making fun of the way she was eating her apple. That was what catapulted the entire year of my 5th grade being hell.
Yeah, my hell year was actually 6th grade. 6th grade, or no, it was 7th grade. I was consistently getting made fun of. I mean, I was the smallest person. I didn't play on anyone's sports teams. I was playing outside of my town, and it was like I was always the butt of the joke. There was times where like I would be going out to hang out with someone, and then or a group of friends, and all of a sudden like I'm pushed off my bike. People were trying to take my pegs off my bike, and for some reason, and I don't know why I was so meticulous about my stuff, like everything had to be exact. So like my pegs had to stay on my bike or else I get pissed. Because one, I had a hard time getting them back on because at 13 I didn't really know what to do with anything. So I didn't know they were just a screw back on. So I would get trashed. There was a point where I had a teacher in 7th grade who to this day says that he wasn't making fun of me, but I swear he would throw jabs because of course I'm talking in class, like giving my perspective on things and all that, and like compare it to other things, and I swear this guy was coming at me the whole time, and I'm like man, like
Yeah, and
I don't want to hear this
especially
shit.
as an adult towards like children. That's like, you're enabling all other children to do that bad behavior as well, and you're not being a good role model, and therefore you shouldn't be a teacher, because I feel like teachers should be role models for the students that they have. So.
Yeah, like I had to switch we had a trip to Springfield because I'm from Illinois. I had a trip to Springfield.
Illinois.
Yeah. And I actually had to switch groups because of that whole part of a situation, and I was just like, man, this sucks. And then I found another group of friends, and the same thing happened with them. It seems like every year or every 2 years, like I'll get a friend group, and then I'm gone. Have a friend group, I'm gone. Have a friend group, I'm gone. It happens. It was like a 2-year cycle where that shit would happen to me every fucking 2 years. And now I'm finally at the point where it's just like, shit, if you're going to do that to me or be bogus to me, you can just get the fuck out.
Right.
Like I'm
in the same boat. I'm feeling the same way too. I mean, still
like I'm 25. I ain't playing no fucking child games no more.
Right. And I'm see, because of all the trauma and things from my childhood, I believe I'm a people pleaser. I don't have much confidence, worth, and it's really hard because it's almost like an everyday struggle trying to like just function and like as a normal like human being, and then also have like responsibilities on top of that, like I'm an adult, like I have to do things. I can't just goof around and not do anything anymore, and that's really it's a really hard pill to swallow right now. It's been rough, but I know it's what I got to do. It's what everybody's had to do, and everybody's got to go through it. Just keep on trucking.
Yeah. All right, let's fast forward a little bit.
Yes,
How
we
was
can
high
fast
school?
Forward. Well, that's when I was 14 is when my parents split up, and that was really rough for me. That was a rough time for me.
That'd be rough on anyone.
And I was actually put in therapy after that.
So that's what broke took the monkey off their back and were
Yeah, I
like,
freaking
let's
guess.
finally throw her
Well,
in there?
Yeah, because I would lock myself. I don't know if anybody knows this. Anybody in my family knows this.
Pod exclusive.
But I would lock myself. I don't want to air out all my business like that. But there was a situation where I had known about it and my mother didn't. So I had to kind of keep it a secret from her, you know.
I think everyone can know what you mean.
And it's just, it was really hard for me because, I don't know, I just didn't want to, I don't know, it was just really hard for me. I didn't want it to happen, basically. And it was just difficult to go through. And I remember I would lock myself in the bathroom at times for hours. I mean, they would probably think I was dying on sleeping on the toilet or something like that, you know, but I would just sit there and I would cry for like until I got it all out because I didn't know what to do and I didn't feel like I had a safe space to go cry to. So then when we were put in therapy though, I had the worst therapist ever.
See, I never had a therapist, so I don't know how it feels.
I would say her name right now, but I really just I don't think I should do that. So
We'll get some NDAs.
She is just she was very. She made it seem like everything was kind of my fault, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Especially at 14.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
If the information that you know that if you let that out, it would ruin everything.
Well, this was I got therapy after. It was my
after
mom's idea.
Okay.
So this was after my mom already found out because what had happened. I guess I'll get into it because it's all facts. It is not fake.
All facts, no cap.
Exactly. It's not like I'm spreading rumors around here. I'm telling what actually happened. Just saying. Anyways, my dad had told me and my sister that he was going to divorce my mom in April, but he told us in February.
Wow. So you had to hold on to that for 2 months.
However, something happened that caused it to have to come out by February 28th. February 26th or 28th was when my mother found out that year. And I remember that because my older sister came over and took me and my little sister out for I think it was Shamrock Shakes or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, that's when I went into therapy. And then, you know, school was all right. It was kind of just, at that point I was okay. I wasn't I feel like again, back to the beginning when I said I was just oblivious to most things. That was what it was. I was more concerned with myself and my own life. I really didn't care, especially that was when I was going into high school, 14. You know, I was about to go in high school. So then, I was in middle school, but yeah, when I moved on to high school after that, it was kind of just I was focusing on myself. You know, I started dyeing my hair around that time too. So I was like,
you're like, fuck it, we're coloring this bitch out.
I was blonde. I thought I was the shit, let alone I wasn't even a fart. Anyways.
Now, in high school, when you were in high school, do you still talk to homies or people from high school?
Yeah, I actually just messaged he was my first boyfriend. I just messaged him the other day. We were talking about we were actually talking about therapy and stuff like that. But yeah, I still talk to I still have them all on social medias and stuff. I still see most of them, you know, most of their stuff and everything. I see if they're doing good, you know, just checking them out. But honestly, I really only talk to, I'd say about regularly, I only talk to one person from high school.
Now, when you were in high school, and I don't know if they happened to you when you were in high school. I know it happened to Faith in high school. The reason, I know how you two met. Do you want to get into that?
Yeah, if she's fine with it, I'm fine with it
she's
too.
fine
I don't
with
give
it.
a fuck. I mean, are we full name dropping?
No, you don't have to name drop, but
yeah. All right, so basically, me and Faith are best friends because we dated the same piece of crap. Period. And You know, he may be different now, whatever, but we won't get into that. He was a piece of crap at the time, so that's what we're
He
referring
cheated
to.
on both of you.
With the same girl.
With the same girl?
Mm-hmm. Who then tried to act like
He belongs to the
friend,
streets.
Yeah, he does. He does.
It was 2 years apart, too.
Oh,
2
yeah.
years apart?
Yeah,
So,
2 years apart.
so
But
it
with the
happened to
same
her
girl.
in
so
high
she was,
school.
Yeah, so
So were you still in school or were you not in school anymore?
we were seniors.
Oh, shit.
Because she's a year older. Well, you were a grade ahead.
What year did you graduate?
2019.
So you're the same age as my sister.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a year younger
And
than
I
her.
didn't know I was the same age as your sister until like a week ago. So.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. I still don't know any of y'all's ages. So, like...
23, I will be 24 in December.
Okay.
I was born at the end of the year, so yes, I am.
You were born in 2001?
No, I'm a 2000 baby, but because I was born in December,
Yeah.
it's basically like 2001.
Yeah, because my sister's June 2001, so you guys are in the same school year.
Right. So, but yeah, Faith and him dated like what, sophomore?
Junior to senior.
Junior to senior year. Your junior to senior?
His sophomore to junior.
His sophomore to junior.
Yeah, so your sophomore.
Our sophomore to junior. And I knew him from like 7th grade. You know, he went to school with me. Like we were friends. We had a crush on each other back in like 7th grade. You know, those little 7th grade, 8th grade.
I dated everyone in my 6th grade class in 6th grade, I think.
Like that whole
Like,
thing.
I was a hoe.
Literally.
I was the middle school hoe where I dated like every girl for like 3 days.
3 days.
And then I was like, all right, I'm not feeling you no more.
No,
What's up, shawty? How you doing? Like I was that type of kid growing up, and I don't know why. And it wasn't like I was ever taught to be like that. I think it was just because, like,
It was new. I feel
it was
like
new,
you were just
and
figuring out.
I think at that time, like, social media just started,
Right.
and
right.
like, I don't know, maybe I was just trying to like feel my way through. Maybe at that time I'm like, damn, I could date this girl for like 8-9 years before we're out of high school, and I'm like thinking stupid shit.
Right.
But yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah. So I had known him from that long. So we were like always kind of like friends, I guess. And I knew of Faith, but I don't think we ever met. We never met before that. Like before I had came up to her. We'll get to that though. So like, yeah, they were dating sophomore to junior, and then it was my senior year. It was our senior year, and we were all in a friend group. We called it the Fam Bam. And it was like a group of 7 of us.
I just shook everything. We're good though.
Earthquake.
I had to turn. I felt like I was like turn this way.
Yeah,
I was
no,
looking at you like
you said
this.
what's your good side? I said my left side. It looks like my right side's mostly on the camera right now.
Okay,
so
my
it's-
left side's my good side. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
This is reconstructed.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at me like this, it looks like I got a little something here. That's why I like this side.
Okay. All right.
Whatever.
Lucky I look hot either way. Period. Anyways, so senior year, we were in a friend group, and me and him, I don't know how it really started. I kind of just think I thought it was jokes at first, and then it kind of developed into something more, I guess. I don't know. It was like a joke that I had kissed everybody in the friend group, even though there were 4 girls and 3 guys. Yeah. And at that moment, I just shook the camera too. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I should have moved it back a touch because it's right up on the camera or right up on the table. It's all good though. It's all good. We're
Okay.
good. We're chilling.
We're fine. We're chilling.
Yeah.
We're good.
Still recording.
Yeah, period. So yeah, I don't really know how it happened, but yeah, how it like started, and I was dating somebody else at the time.
Oh,
Ooh,
shit.
we're getting into the tea.
Oh.
I was dating. No, literally though, I was dating somebody else at the time, and he was all like, which the guy I was dating at the time wasn't that much better, anyways. If you're being honest, he was just
Better at what?
better person in general. I
you're like
I have a track
17.
record. I have a track record of dating pieces of crap.
We know.
Although my first boyfriend, when I was 17, before before the one I'm talking about, he was probably the best boyfriend I've ever had.
Is he the one that got away?
Well, yeah, I think he was, because I broke up with him on Christmas but there was an
What's
instant.
wrong with you?
Well, no, he was going around school in the gym with some other girl she kept putting her hands all over him, and he never said, I'm dating Bekka, I have a girlfriend. And she asked, and then one of my friends at the time, he went up to him and was like, hey, aren't you dating Bekka? While she was like all touchy-feely with him, and he was all like nonchalant no about it. And so that's why I broke up with him on Christmas.
So he was not the one that got away.
I guess not, but he was probably the best boyfriend I ever had, which I guess that says a lot right there.
That does. All right. So,
but we can get back into, we were going on how I met Faith, basically. So, right?
yeah, you basically said it. You guys met just
Well, yeah,
through...
but it was what?
Wasn't it... Okay, yeah.
Do the whole
keep
story.
going. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, me and him kind of dated, but it was literally only for like a week. I broke up with my boyfriend specifically for him on prom night after we went to prom. Okay, and then I went. Yeah, for him, mind you, and then I dated this guy. Right? Tell me why. Like 3 days later, next day at school, where he's like he acted like all like weird all day at school, and I actually wasn't there at school that day. I was in the career center, and I had a event there that happened all day, so I got signed out of school for that day, and I wasn't at school that day. But I remember all my friends texting me like, "Hey, so-and-so's acting kind of weird today. Have you talked to him?" And I'm like, "No, he won't text me back." Weird. Yeah, later that day, it was a Friday, and it was Friday, May 10th, which is really funny that this past May 10th was also a Friday. So, yeah, the date is ingrained in my brain. So, It was Friday, May 10th, and he basically broke things off with me after he wanted it. And then he broke things off with me, and years later that happened again in another friend group, but whatever. And it just it pisses me off, because it's like, come on, you wanted me and now you're breaking up with me. Make up your mind. Like, you should have known that before you done drag me along.
I've been in a few of those.
Yeah,
like,
it's just ridiculous. It's like no
just
respect.
Recently, like the past like year before me and Faith started dating, I couldn't tell you how many 2-week situationships I've been in where like you think you're with this person, or you got it locked in, because as soon as I went through a phase where as soon as I felt locked in, I was gone. It seemed like as soon as I was locked in.
No, I mean, or wait, you're gone as in like you were out of there, like you didn't want to be in it anymore?
No,
or you were gone like you were in this for like the long run.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, this could be something. Let's see where it could go. And then 2 weeks go by. I get that little text message saying, yeah, I think we should just be friends. You're a great guy, but this isn't going to work out. And I know damn well, because I know how girls are, because I have a sister and I have my girlfriend who talks to my sister. I know damn well that every one of these girls was catching some type of different dick.
Probably, yeah.
During that time.
Yeah. Oh.
I know she don't do that, but I'm just saying, like, I know how girls are. There's rosters.
Yeah, but...
And usually I'm the leadoff hitter on every team I play on, and I'm always the first to hit, always the first to sit on the bench. It's all good, though.
Yeah, I feel that. I kind of am in that boat, I feel like, because I have so much trauma and PTSD from my childhood, unhealed trauma, all that. I tend to not pick the right men for me. And
yeah, we need to find you someone.
Yeah, I'm fine right now.
All right, that's good though.
Cool right now, just myself.
That's good.
I really am.
That's really good.
I need to be. That's the thing. That's
once you get your shit together, that's when it'll start becoming something. Because I'm a firm believer is I am a firm believer in you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. And
Yeah.
I honestly think that's why the only relationship within the past like 5-6 years that has been long term and it's been healthy and there's really no problems is with Faith. Like,
Period.
but literally like 2 or 3 months before me and her started talking, I was finally like, you know what? I fucking love myself. I'm the fucking shit.
Yeah, I'm starting.
And then on, I'm like, let's fucking run.
I'm
like,
starting to get there. I feel like, yeah, some days I do things and I'm like, you're an idiot. But I mean, that's just like, I feel like that's just being aware of like, sometimes I have idiot tendencies. I do things that are like, silly me. And
oh, me too.
just like,
Trust
okay.
me too.
But I try not to like bully myself or talk bad about myself. in any
No,
way
yeah, that's you can't be doing that now.
anymore. Yeah.
All right, let's.
I didn't finish the story.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me tell really fast because this
Okay.
part is funny. So basically, we graduated. Me and him didn't talk anymore. He's history. He doesn't matter anyways. This is about me and Faith. Period. Faith was working at the Ben's Pretzels in Meyer, and I was working at the coffee cabin right next door.
I
in
remember
Meyer.
her saying that.
And I saw her, and I said, "I know this bitch." I said, "You know." I'm bored at the coffee cabin because at the coffee cabin there was only one worker at a time. I had no coworkers with me. It was just me
That's
by myself.
terrible.
Yeah, dealing with a bunch of grocery store people trying to get coffee. It was very not great. But I was bored and I also wanted a pretzel. So I was like, let me walk on over, get me a pretzel and chat with this girl. And I went up to her and I remember I was just so weird because I was like, I don't know if she's gonna like me, know who I am, anything. And I'm like, hey, did you date so-and-so? And she was like, yeah. And I said, me too. And that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. We just, we bonded over how shitty he was to both of us. We found out he cheated on both of us with the same girl. And now here we are. And she's my best friend. Hey. What? Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding is actually
Yeah.
real.
No, it really is. I definitely know it is. I am convinced that most of my relationships have been trauma bonds, but the good ones stay and the
I feel
bad
like-
ones, they can get weeded out. That's fine. Bye.
I feel like if they're not family friends, I feel like that's how you make friends is by trauma bonding. We got Blue in the cut over here.
over here.
We have a guest storming in the pod. Hey, I don't think he'll knock down anything though. He's pretty swift. But anyways, Becca,
Anyway, sorry.
did
next
you
topic.
go to school after high school?
Yes, so I did. Because I was in the career center and I was doing like health careers and stuff. I even did the EMT class in my second year at the career center, which I failed the exam at the end by 2 points.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's okay. I think everything happens for a reason. That wasn't the best course of action for me, especially with what happened over the next few years. But even though basically that was a sign, maybe you shouldn't do health anything, I still went to nursing school in college.
how was that?
Well, you know, the first year of nursing school is like, they make it so like they can weed out all the dumb people, right? So
Yeah, because St. Xavier was huge with nursing.
yeah, so they say like, well, I don't know if they probably do it by like semester, but I always heard it was like within the first year of nursing school.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it a year. I made it a semester. A semester I was gone. I said, I failed out. Yeah.
Now, did you switch or did you just say fuck it?
Well, I failed 2 of the 3 necessary classes for the nursing program. So they kicked me out of the nursing program, but I was still technically in college. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my dad was like, hey, you either need to like go to school or
Start working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time I didn't want to work. Mind you, now fast forward, I regret that decision. I should have worked. But that's okay. That's okay. We learn from our mistakes. And after that, I went to beauty school. That's when I went to cosmetology school. And still to this day, I wish I did esthetician instead, but it's okay. And then even towards the end of that, I was about to fail out of that. I was not about to pass.
Becca.
Yeah, and I'm over here paying all this money for it, and I can't even like get myself to do it. It's like I should have known school was not for me. Like, you're paying for it, and you're still like you're wasting your time basically. And right at the end, I'm like also really proud of myself because I really pushed through right at the end there. And in the middle of beauty school was actually when one of the most traumatic things happened to me. So the fact that I was still able to finish even after like that happened to me was like, I'm pretty proud of myself, like to this day, that I even finished. And I still want to keep it. I still have it, even though I don't want to do like hair.
You did it with me today.
No, literally.
Before the podcast, I was like, hey, you want to cut my hair? I've been wanting to try out this hairstyle. And she did it, and I think it looks good.
I think it looks
My
good
hair's
too.
a little greasy today, though. I should have washed it. I washed it this morning, but I was sweating in the studio all day.
All good. No worries. I was getting cut off anyways. But yeah, so I'll still do it for my friends and like family here and there, but honestly I don't want to do it for like strangers because I was working in a salon for a while and I don't know, I can't at least right now, the like where I'm at my mental like health journey and everything, I can't take that.
You're just not a people person.
Yeah, I very much so, very much so. And
A-okay, because I'm the same way.
I've learned that while working in what I'm working now, the fact that I don't have to deal with customers or any type of customer service, I'm like, this is the life. Are you kidding? I mean, I still have like coworkers I don't get along with and stuff like that, but it's like not having to be like the customer's always right or like people please a customer for their money or their like.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I'm like.
I laugh because like I feel like sometimes like I am one of the dumbest people in our friend group, but I'm the one that has the degree.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
feel like when I first started coming around and we were talking about like school and all that, I'm like, oh yeah, I got a bachelor's degree in media communications. I feel like everyone looked at me and was like, what the fuck? You have a degree?
Like, yeah, period. Like that was not like
that was nothing.
Everybody takes their own way. I just feel like school is not
I hated
my strong suit.
I found ever since middle school, there's a loophole for everything with school. I didn't read a single thing in school. In college, I worked my ass off for 2 months out of the semester and just coasted the rest because I had enough points where I was literally going in. It was called Canvas, and it was so you could add up all your total points that you could get to pass. And I needed to stay eligible for bowling, the main reason why I went to school, or else I probably wouldn't have gone to school. And what I went to school for, I don't think I needed to. Your phone went off. Was
that mine?
I have no clue.
So sorry. Let me turn that off. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Sorry. But anyways, that was the only reason why I wanted to go to school because I wanted to do athletics, even though bowling is a fucking sport, by the way. We had to do workouts. I sprained my finger.
Okay. We're just flipping off everybody, aren't we?
Sprained this finger. And yeah. But anyways, let's get deep. Let's talk about
Okay.
let's talk about something that's going to be near and dear to your heart.
Okay.
You know, we've been talking about anxiety and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the tip of the iceberg was when your mom passed away.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I could. Might cry a little bit, but we can get into it. So basically, like, it was a couple years.
What year was it?
She passed away in 2020.
Okay.
So
COVID related?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks, but no, unfortunately, I can't blame it on anything that couldn't have been fixed, sadly. Basically, so after my senior year of high school, so when they split up, my mother remarried, but my stepdad lived in Chesterton, so but I was still going to school in Griffith.
Okay.
That's 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's a haul.
And I was doing that every morning. And then I would go work at Panera Bread until 12 a.m. And then I'd go pick up my sister from my grandpa's. And then we'd go drive 45 minutes back to Chesterton. And I'd have to go to sleep, wake up at 5 a.m. and do it all over again.
Yeah, that's rough.
I barely got any homework done. I think that's part of the reason why I was like failing too. So like I had made the decision to not go to my mom's house anymore. I was going to stay at my dad's full time. And I think that caused some ripples between me and my mom and in our relationship, to which now I'm just so confused about everything I feel towards her death. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling because it's like there are days when I miss her, and there are days when no, I'm not going to say that all out, but basically it's just I get angry a lot because it's not like a normal circumstance. I didn't have like a normal what I would consider a normal mom-daughter relationship between a mother and daughter. I did not have that with my mom, and it just kind of sucks because it's like now she's passed, and it's like I don't know. I should miss her because she was my mom, but she wasn't.
You
she
guys
wasn't like
just
the
weren't
best
close.
mom
Yeah.
that like I needed her to be at that time, and that's nothing against her though. She had her own mental issues that she was dealing with and problems she had, and she just never really shared those with us. And in fact, she lied to us about them. So that was like the main reason I wasn't talking to her around the time she passed. So she was an alcoholic, and for years, I mean, for as long as I can remember, even when we were children, like I remember her drinking and stuff. So it's like even now to this day, I associate drinking with just like anything. Like that's how you have to like hang out with friends, or that's how you have to do anything. And it's like, no, that's not. Like you don't have to do that. Yeah, it's fun sometimes, and I will do it when I want to. But if I don't want to, I need to I keep having to remind myself that it's okay not to want to. It's not like that's not a normal thing to be doing, is just always have alcohol around, it's like, but it was a big thing, like throughout my entire life basically. And that's why I struggle with, substances to this day. I mean, I try not to drink a lot, especially when I was on medication. We're getting too far ahead of myself. Let me get back to the story. So,
You're okay.
basically, she had gotten diagnosed with a specific illness, and so she was trying to get like sober, but ultimately the alcohol addiction did get a hold of her and wasn't, she couldn't overcome it. So
Was it did it become like overlying health issues, or was it like
a little bit,
like
yeah,
kidney stuff
a
and
little bit,
liver
but it was
stuff?
mostly substance abuse
Okay.
across the board,
Oh, okay.
everything. So basically, a month before she passed, I had asked her how many days sober she was, and she had told me like 150 something. And like she even had the chip, the little chip.
AA chip, or
Yeah,
like the
and
NA
I was
chip?
like, oh, okay. So I was like proud for her. I was happy for her and everything. And not even a week after she told me that, my stepdad found a bunch of alcohol bottles underneath her bed. Empty alcohol bottles. So she was lying. And this is not to like shade my mom, of course. Like addiction is, it's an illness in itself. I mean, it's a problem. Sometimes people can't get over it, and sometimes people can. Good for them, but like it's hard, and so I can't really like blame her. But also like it caused a lot of problems for me, So I mean, it was a lot. So I wasn't talking to her for a whole month, and then I get a call that she's in the hospital, and it was around the time of her birthday. So I definitely wanted to go see her. But the reason she went into the hospital was because, because she was an alcoholic, she would obviously drink every single day, probably every minute of every day. And it just so happened that this specific day she had also taken some pills and also was probably under the influence of marijuana as well. And the pills on the bottle clearly said, do not mix with alcohol or like other substances, you know. And of course, because she was an alcoholic, she did, and it caused her to have like a seizure.
Oh yeah, don't want to mix
And
that shit.
my stepdad found her and took her to the hospital, and then by the time she was like all hooked up to the machines and everything, she couldn't really talk. So she was kind of responsive with her eyes, but it was still like she wasn't there, you know.
She was almost like a vegetable.
Right. And it was just it was sad because when I got the call that she was in the hospital, it was around the time I was kind of like focused on this boy, and I hate that I was just so focused on this boy and like worried about this boy because maybe I would have had more time with my mom, but like I can't think like that, you know, because I don't wanna...
Yeah, you can't think about trying to add time.
Right. It was hard for me at the time. I didn't know what was going on, so I was kind of selfish and rude, I feel like, but I did eventually I went to see her on her birthday that year, and she didn't talk back, of course, but she saw that I was there, and you know, she squeezed my hand a little bit, so that was nice to like have that interaction. And then it was the Saturday after, so that her birthday was like on a Wednesday, and it was like the Saturday after, I think, or Sunday after, and I was actually supposed to go on a date that day with the boy, and I got a call from my stepdad that says, and he was like, you need to get to the hospital. And it was just like I knew, like,
Yeah.
And I was the last one to show up at the hospital, and by the time I got there, my whole family had already discussed that they were going to basically take her off the life support. However, I wasn't, and I get it, I wasn't there. I get now, but it was hard to hear when you walk into the room and, you know, the first thing you hear is, okay, so what's the decision? And we're going to pull the plug, like that.
Yeah, that's always tough.
That hit me really hard, and like, yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, that whole day was just a blur, and the whole week, I mean, even for the first year, I really was like, oh, I miss my mom so much. I miss her so much, you know, and until I like really started to like realize what kind of like all I went through. I don't know if you've heard of the book I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah.
I've been reading it recently, and I can tell you right now, I can relate to some of it. Yeah, I can.
Wow.
Because it is, and I just like the way she writes, and the way she writes it out and like kind of describes it. And even I heard an interview, and she was saying how it's like hard because she wanted to, I don't remember if this was like an interview or if she actually wrote it in the book. So, but I know she said this, and she said it was hard to grieve her because she had all these like ill feelings towards her, but she's also like your mom. Like you feel like you should feel that type of like sadness because you lost your mom, but like if she was a bad person, should you still feel that sadness? It was hard to really, it's really hard, and I'm still trying to like process all of it now. I feel like I definitely need a therapist for that, and I still haven't really processed it all, and that's probably a red flag for me, but it's hard. I feel like you can't really process anything unless you really want to do the work and want to go through that. And right now, as soon as I, you know, try to get into the nitty gritty, try to do the work, I get scared, and I shut down. And I don't want to do it anymore. So it's like,
yeah, it's overwhelming.
It is. And I feel like I hope I get to a point soon where I can really start to like, you know, go process it all and everything. So
Yeah, because that had to be probably the biggest thing, right? One of the biggest things.
Yeah, honestly, I would say the thing with my sister was probably bigger because I I even though, you know, like, yeah, my mom dying is a pretty big thing, but my sister is like my whole world to me. And
Yeah, we don't have to get into that one. 'Cause
no,
I know.
I want to like mention
Okay.
something about it. I just don't want to get into like all that happened, but it kind of goes into the, so
It all ties together.
right, it all ties
Okay.
together. So I'm about to let me spit it out for you. Let me just get it all out there. So basically, I really didn't have time to grieve my mom because when my mom passed, I was convinced I needed like happy pills.
Oh, okay.
And that began my journey with antidepressants. And then I had found out I was bipolar, and I still really don't know to this day if that's actually what I am or not, because I went through so many doctors and so many like different things, and you know, they all told me different things, and it's just like, and I wasn't really like caring about myself that much at that time either, to where I like would remember like my health and stuff like that, you know? So, but anyway, so I was like numbed out basically for 2 years. And then another incident happened where my grandma passed away, and my grandma was an amazing woman. Loved that woman. She was, she was
Would you say
amazing.
she was more like a mom than your mom?
Yeah, I would say when I was younger, for sure. As I got older, it was, and I do admit that it was my fault completely. I didn't go over there as much as I should have and visit her as much as I should have. But, yeah, she was fighting for a long time, though. I mean, we knew it was coming soon. We just didn't really expect it at that time. And at the time, my sister was away, so she had come back, and then. So this was in May of like 2022, and not even a month later, my sister had an accident where she almost died too.
Yeah.
I almost lost her, and that I feel like that whole thing is the hardest thing for me, because I mean, I was just thinking about it the other day. It's like I still haven't processed all of it, like what I kind of went through during it. And I know I don't want to like sound like that, because like she obviously went through a lot, like, but like, I don't know, I feel like with the way I experienced it, I also went through like a lot because of like how I am in my head, and I was all like back and forth. I know this is making no sense. I
now
hope.
this might sound kind of like fucked up, but like, do you like when all this shit's going on with everyone around you? Do you ever like? Did you ever feel like, am I next?
I don't think I ever felt that way. Like
it happened
honestly,
to her, but what about me? Like,
well, honestly, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like that now, if we're being honest, because it was like 2020, then 2022. Now it's 2024. I'm like, is it like every 2 years thing? And now I've got the am I next type of thing.
you got the jitters.
But I'm trying not to think like that, because honestly,
No, that's
like,
good.
Like, yeah, that's gonna like, I feel like that's gonna dampen me from doing what I want to do.
Yeah, that could
and
really mess you
everything.
up.
So, as long as I just take safety precautions, no matter what I do, I feel like I'll be fine, you know. And I'm trying to take care of myself, trying to get healthier and better. It is really hard. It's a struggle every day, but I feel like I can only go up from here. You know, I don't.
That is true.
I don't want. I've been at rock bottom before, and like, I know I don't want to go back there.
You just gotta keep inching.
And I keep inching.
You gotta
Every
keep
inch
inching.
counts. Every
Gotta
inch
keep
counts.
inching.
But yeah, I will say that was the hardest thing. And I mean, ever since then, I feel like and that was just, 2 years ago. I feel like ever since then, my whole perspective on life has changed overall. Like even within the last year, it has, like so many things have changed for me. Even like, yeah, like I've gone through a lot. I've been through a lot, but I don't even like, and it's made me kind of insensitive towards other people going through things. And I hate that about myself, because it's like, I want to like be caring and show people that I care, but it's like,
You've been through the ringer.
I've been through like,
I've been there. I've done that.
Exactly. And it's like, it's hard for me to like kind of like feel what other people are feeling when I'm like, well, but and I don't want to say that, but it's like
You already been through it and you've
Right.
survived it, and
right,
you're
and I
just
don't want
like,
to say like, yeah, I don't want to say
you'll
like,
survive it.
yeah, I like I've already been there. That like,
Been there, done
yeah,
that.
like I don't want to say that, but it's like that's kind of the truth, you know. I mean, like that's how it like feels. But I'm trying to be like more. Now I'm trying to actively kind of be more sensitive towards
positive and
other
sensitive,
people.
yeah.
Yes, positive and positivity, everything. Just trying to have a good life. Because trying to be happy, peace, chasing peace. Because
Peace, love, and prosper.
amen. Because
Now, you're talking about staying positive and all that, and we just went over
A lot of dark
a lot
stuff.
of dark stuff.
And
Let's
we
brighten it up. Let's brighten it up.
okay.
How do you get yourself out of that mindset? Because I know you also suffer from panic attacks,
Mm-hmm.
just through the trauma. Like, how do you get yourself out of there? Like, do you think like oh, it'll pass? Like, just let it hit you, or do you like go take a cold shower? I know that helps. What do you do?
So I feel like it's pretty situational, depending on like what I'm feeling in that moment or what's going on in that moment. Sometimes, if like if I know I have to do something like to calm myself down, but I don't feel like doing it, say like journaling or something like that. Like yeah, journaling would make me feel better, but writing out all my emotions right now makes me like not want to do it. Like
It depends on your mood.
right. So then I'll do like diamond art. I have a diamond art painting. Shout out to Faith for introducing me to that. Period. I do some of that. I used to paint like canvases, like acrylic paint and stuff. But lately I've been kind of out of that. But I still have stuff like I want to keep it because like what if one day I do want to get back into that? What if I do want to distract myself with that, or and other things I do to like calm myself down. I like music. I listen to music.
What's your go-to?
Also situational, but if I need a good pick me up, I've been listening to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield lately.
All right.
It's been I cry when she gets to that chorus. I'm like, yes, I cry because it's yeah, just trying to be positive. But yeah, that's been my song, my go-to song lately when I'm like kind of down and I need a good pick me up is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
That's a good one. I've done I don't know if you know what perler art is.
No.
Perler beads. You see them at raves. Like the necklaces where there's
okay, yeah.
I went through a stage in my life where I was totally depressed. And I was trying to pick myself up. I had the hardest time. I finally did it. It took well over a year to get back to what I've been wanting to do. And I think I sat down and made about 200-300 of these figures. And I'm talking like I made some big ass ones, made some small ones, any size, any shape, anything I was making.
Right.
That was my biggest coping mechanism was just art and all that. Like this stuff,
Yeah.
doing this is therapeutic for me too.
Right. I feel like any like distraction where you can like have fun or like there's something afterwards that you can be proud of and showcase to other people, I feel like is definitely a good way to get you out of that type of headspace where you're like down and you just can't find any way up. It's like you can definitely find it in creative outlets for sure.
And that's a perfect segue because this is the fun part. This is the fun part.
All right. Yay. We're getting to the fun part. Oh.
No, you're good.
That was loud.
You're good. Why haven't you started social media? You have the coolest fucking name in the world.
I know.
Bekka Rex. That is the coolest fucking name in the world. I would have that as a username if I could.
Thank you. I do kind of. I actually was just talking about this with Zoe. Actually, I do want to like start like a YouTube channel or something like that. I that's always been like kind of like a secret little dream of mine is to be like a YouTuber or something. And I appreciate that. But I think it's like, I mean, even now, like you've noticed throughout this whole entire time we've been recording, I've been nervous and all over the place. It's just like I feel like I'm not at a place where I feel like I want to be yet before I start doing all that. I feel like
All right.
I feel like
Understandable.
I feel like if I do, but and doing more things like this will also help me bring me out of my shell a little bit. I feel like that's another reason I'm kind of so like I hesitant about doing it, is because I care really way too much about other people's like
opinions and shit.
towards me.
I used to. I learned over the years, and this stems from literally back from like middle school, everyone making fun of me and shit.
Right.
It's like, I'm having fun.
Right.
Like, I could give a fuck
Right, and
about what you think.
and actually it's been really beautiful lately to me, like just things I noticed about myself is that like lately when I've been out with like friends and stuff, I am being more like outgoing in myself and not really caring, because usually I limit myself, or I kind of like mute myself down a little bit, or I push myself down when I'm out, even with my friends, because of like just other people around, like in a bar, in like a bowling alley or something. I see other people, like if I'm, because I'm a loud person, sometimes I can get pretty loud and crazy.
You could get loud.
And I just see other people like staring at me from across the bar, and that like makes me feel some type of way and make me not want to be like myself anymore. But lately I have been noticing that when I go out, I don't pay attention to other people anymore.
That's a good
I
thing.
try not to, because it's like they are like they are worried about you, bitch. If they stare at you, that's a problem for them. What are they staring at? Probably because you're hot, period. So I'm just trying to like be more outgoing, be more myself, because I feel like I am, in my core, I feel like I am an outgoing weirdo, and I want to embrace it, and I want to be an outgoing weirdo like all the time. But I get scared people are going to judge me, or they're going to think they're going to not like me, and I have to make everybody like me. No, I don't. I'm starting to care less and less about that. I'm starting to realize that I only need the real ones around me. I don't need all these fake people around me. And if they're going to feel some type of way, then bye, leave. I don't, basically what you were saying earlier, if you're going to be bogus to me, leave. I don't need you, because what I said earlier too, I'm trying to find peace, love, just happiness. I don't want any drama. I don't want any, like, I don't want any of that. Like, I've had all that, been there, done that, don't want any of that. I'm just...
Yeah, you're getting to that age where you just want to live.
I just want to live.
And that's
right.
once you finally hit that mark, and I hit it about, I say like 6 to 8 months ago, where it's just like, I'm just here. Like, I'm here for a good time.
Right.
I'm here to have some laughs, make a couple memories, and really like just kind of bullshit. Like, I'm not here to stir nothing up, not here to start shit. I'm here to just enjoy my time, because especially now that we're getting older and we're all working, time is the most valuable thing you could give to someone or give yourself.
Right.
If you give yourself that time, you not only will shine in the world, you'll be a lot happier. Like with this, I give myself like, and it kind of sounds bad, I maybe give myself 2-3 days throughout the week where I'm not thinking about this.
Right.
But that's even like, I'm talking like sitting down, editing, making a clip, posting stuff. Like,
right.
But usually I'm locked in this podcast project. Like, this is something huge for me. Like, I'm super excited to be done with my Pokemon videos. I tend to bring that up almost every fucking episode. I have less than like 30 left to do, and I am so excited to be done with it, but I know I have to finish it.
Right.
So after that's done, that's really when I could take my time with videos that I want to make, and I'm excited to see what the fuck I can do with that.
That's another thing I'm at too. I mean, like, yeah, I do want to do all that, but I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of determination.
It takes a lot of learning.
I'm definitely not. I'm not the type of person that's very like like, I don't know, when I'm in it, and when I'm already like, when it's like, easy for me. I can do it. I can make myself, do it. I could be determined, hard work, all that time, all that thing. But just starting out, I feel like I would be too lenient on myself, and it might fizzle out. You know what I'm saying? Like
or you'll do it so much where you get burnt out.
that too.
Because I've been through that as well.
Right, and I don't want to do that. So I'm waiting until I'm maybe in a good place. Then maybe I've been
Throw
looking.
a video,
I've been looking
video
at
up there here
some
and there.
like vlog type of cameras and stuff.
Some of them are expensive.
They are. So it's definitely going to be a
if you-
saving up process too.
What kind of phone you got?
The 15.
Use that.
Well,
How many gigs you got?
See, that's the problem. See, I pay for extra storage right now because I pay for the 2 terabytes. Do I need 2 terabytes? No.
What
but
do you have on your phone that
the
you need
first
2
option,
terabytes?
It's literally all my photos. Well, I don't know why iPhone does this. Like every time I log into like a new phone, it has all my photos from all my phones.
Don't you? You should make a Google.
All the way from like 2015.
Make a Google Photos account. Put them all on there, and then once they're synced on there, delete them.
I just get scared to delete. Like what? Because if you delete something, it's gone forever.
But yeah,
Okay. Maybe I'll do it. But
maybe.
yeah, I mean, I do want to eventually do that though. I have been thinking about that a lot more lately. I'm definitely that would be like a dream for me. If I could pick any job I want, it's like, yeah, to be like a YouTuber. I don't know. I know it sounds
I feel
lame,
like that's
but
everyone's dream job now.
yeah, but like it's fun. It's all I do every day too. Is all I do is watch YouTube videos. Like literally from the time I wake up and then I go to work and then when I come home, that's what I do is I watch YouTube videos. So it's like
Yeah, I grew up. Ever since I was able to pick up a camera, I was making videos. Like I was posting videos, not even editing them, just full like one shot, just edit and then, or not even edit, post it from my mom's iPad. Then I started getting into iMovie.
well,
And
yeah,
then
like
started with a camera and then putting it on iMovie. Then eventually buying the Adobe suite and doing all that shit. And now I'm here where I could basically edit anything.
right. And like even during COVID, I was doing vlogs on TikTok. I would call them 60-second vlogs. And
Why don't you do that still?
because it got
Those are the easiest things to
I
do.
know, but I yap a lot, so it wouldn't really be
It would
60
be fucking
seconds.
hilarious.
But, it would probably be like the 10 minutes, the full 10 minutes that
No,
TikTok allows for videos.
Do you know how much time TikTok allows now if you upload it from the computer?
How much?
60 minutes.
60 minutes? Who wants to
Yup.
sit there and watch one video for 60 minutes?
You could put a full ass fucking
Well,
movie on TikTok
Isn't
now.
TikTok about to be banned, though?
Knock on wood.
Yeah. I don't know. It might happen. But
anyways, thank you so much for coming on.
oh, thank you for
I am
having
very
me.
impressed. You were texting me
No.
all week saying I'm gonna be balling. You better have Kleenex on.
Yeah,
there was
I
not a
know.
single tear.
Well, yeah, that's. I
I'm
feel like because
impressed,
I don't
especially
know.
with all that fucking trauma.
Well, yeah, I didn't really get too deep into it because I started yapping about, and that we would have been here for 2 hours if I did that. So yeah,
It's
we
all
need to keep
good.
it short. But I feel like it was. I don't know. I feel a little weird about the episode, but
No,
I trust
I
in
enjoyed
your
it.
editing.
I
editing
enjoyed it.
capabilities. Hopefully, I won't sound like a fucking dumbass.
No, you won't. You won't.
But thank you. I did enjoy this too, and I would like to come back as another guest. If you would have me, I would
will.
enjoy that very much.
I
And
will.
Maybe with your girlfriend too, because when we're together, we will make your podcast. I think that had the most views, to be honest.
No, it didn't.
Well, it would have the most views if me and I'm saying if me
you
and
two were on there,
Faith
just
were on a podcast together. We're on your podcast together, yeah. And you interviewed us together, like, yeah, us crackheads, yeah.
all right, maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it. But I know you got guests lined up and stuff, so I'm just happy. I was episode number 8. 8's one of my
How do
my
you
lucky
know what
numbers.
episode it was?
Well, I wanted to look because I wanted to see. Has he made 10 episodes yet? And then I was like, because I wanted to be, if I was on an episode, I wanted it to be episode 11 because 11's like my main number. But 8 is is my like second favorite number. So I'm pretty
Alright.
solid, happy with number 8. You know.
We're good. All right. Well,
No, thank you,
know
for
what?
having me though. I do really think this was fun. So.
I like seeing that you're moving forward because we're always inching. If you're not inching, what are you doing with your life?
What are you
Because
doing?
This is Every Inch Counts. I'm your host, Josh Boger. Thank you, Bekka, for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you.
And I will see you next week. Peace.